Hey everyone, Swapnil here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to self-host n8n as a beginner as well as for experts developers in just 3 minutes. So it is the simplest and the best method to host n8n for free. You can also follow through and get the paid plan if you want to host your instance 24/7 and be able to run heavy scenarios like I do. But if you are a beginner and you just want to see if this thing is for you and build various scenarios and test for yourself, you can do that as well. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. So this here you can see my another instance which I have hosted, and I'll forget this failure, this sometime happens. So what you see is I have various scenarios built here and all of these are stored here. Even if you are on the free instance, you don't have to worry. I'm going to show you the method so that all your instance and scenarios are saved even if your instance gets turned down, and all you have to do is plug that into another instance and your scenarios will be back. So let's first get into the Render. The first platform we are going to use is Render. You have to log into Render. This is the website. Once you are logged in, you will be greeted with this screen. So here what you have to do, you have to choose the web service. Once you are into the web service, you will see this page. So what other YouTubers would be teaching you would be to get through GitHub provider. So what we have to do, we don't have to go get through GitHub because I was previously going through GitHub as well. I started up using GitHub. So what happened is the new updated image is much bigger than the previous image, so it is taking much more memory than it used to. While on the free instance or Render, the memory is really less, like 0.5 GB of RAM, so that won't be enough to run some big scenarios and run something. So your instance will be really slow and it will hang. And now with the new bigger memory contents by the GitHub repo, you won't be able to self-host it. I was getting an error for the memory to being run out, so I had to change it to the existing image using Docker. So now I am using the Docker's repo image to self-host and it on GitHub. It is much faster and it will be much better for you to do it this way, because in GitHub you will have to be updating the image and doing other things, and it will take much more time when you self-host it, especially for the ones who are going with the free version, because you will have to be deploying it again after leaving for some time, because the instance gets turned down if you are not paying for the pro plan. So now we need the address of the Docker image. We'll find it on the n8n docs, and it's Docker. So you can come on this website and find the location here. So this is the n8n Docker location. I'll copy it and paste it here. Now it has extracted the Docker image. We'll connect, we'll name the web service, then we have to pick the region. This is the region from which your service will be communicating with you. So for the better and faster connections, to choose the region which is closest to you. So I'll be choosing Singapore because it is the closest to my region. Then you can pick any of the plans. I will suggest you pick according to your requirements. Most of the work will be done with the standard plan. You won't have to go more than the standard plan, but if you have to go to more than the standard plan, I will suggest you to search on the YouTube and self-host n8n using OpenOcean. It is a bit more complicated, but it would be better if you are going to go with $85 plan or some other bigger plans. Right now I'm going to show you for the free version, so those who don't want to invest in it right now can just freely use it as well. So now we have environment variables. Right now we won't be setting up the environment variables, we will be later on setting it. So let's deploy the web service. Till the time the web service is being deployed, let's switch to Supabase. So this is the platform we are going to use to save all of the render instances. All of the render instances and all the data from the render is going to be passed to this web service. Like in my instance, all these scenarios are being stored in my Supabase account, so you will have to do that as well. So just in case if you're using the free render and your instance gets turned down, you won't be losing all the scenarios. So now after logging into the Supabase, this is the URL. I'll be adding all the URLs in the description of the video so you can easily access it. Now, after you have logged in, you will be greeted with this screen. Now you have to write the project name, YouTube testing for n8n. Now password will be YouTube @n8n. I'll copy this password and paste it somewhere so that you don't forget, because because this password is really important to access the database. So when you will be connected with the n8n instance on Render, you will need the password to connect it. So these are all the information, these are the environment variables that we will be later on adding to our n8n instance through Render. So right now we need to save the password. This is the database password. I will be saving it here. Okay, I've saved it here. Now the region, pick the region which you chose on Render, so there is no performance issues and ping issues. Alright, so I took Singapore on Render, so I'm going to pick Singapore here as well. Now let's create a new project. So now once the project is created, all you have to do is just connect it to the Render instance. To do that, we will need all these environment variables. So these are all the environment variables of the database. So some of the environment variables are not supposed to be changed by you. I have already filled it in. So the ones which you need to change, I will be showing you here. So the first we need to change is the database host. So the database host depends on the region in which your instance is being hosted. So it will be different for each and one of you. So for me, this one is just on the page. Go to the top part, connect, and then come down here. Now for me the host is AWS and supabase.com. I'll copy it and paste it on the host. Okay, now leave this and this as it is. Now we have to change the port. For me the port is 6443. In case you have question why I am using the transaction puller one or the session puller one, because they are for different things. Like you can read here which one is for what. So I might be using multiple instances, so I will need data from two places, so that's why I'm using this, so I don't have to fetch the information again and again. Now what we need is we need the database user ID. So to get the user ID, you can get back to the session, and in the beginning you will have the user ID. Now you can come here and paste the user ID. Now everything is set. Now you need to make an encryption key, so all your data which is being sent and brought back from the Supabase and all the communication that is happening between Supabase and n8n instance needs to be secure. To do that, we will be using an encryption key. So to that, we'll go to a website called random.org.sync, which will be creating the string for us. So I'll need one string with, let's say, 32 characters. Now let's get the string. Now I've got the string. Let's see. Okay, now I paste it here. What's done? Now you have to, well, I'll be attaching this txt file as well in the description, so you can easily copy paste all the data that is needed as shown in the video. All you have to do is follow step by step, and if you still fall into a problem and you still face some problem, you can just comment down below and I'll help you out. So here is the generic time zone, so you have to set it according to your time zone. That's simple as that. Now we have to fix these n8n variables. For that, we'll go back to our Render instance. Now it is hosted, but see, right now it is being hosted to localhost. We don't have it on our Render instance, so we'll have to change this. So to change this, we'll need to copy this URL and paste this on the base URL. Now copy this part and paste the webhook URL. Now paste the host URL as well. Now let's review everything else. Now copy it. We'll be going to environment. Now in the environment, we'll find environment variables. Go to add from .env. Now add from env. We'll just paste all the value. Now check it again. Is everything done? Yeah. Now we'll be adding the variables. You can see that all the variables have been added. Now I'll be saving it and deploying. Now once I will tap deploy, it will again be building back the Docker image. As you can see, the Docker image that is being built here is super fast. Now it is just going to be hosted really fast. You don't have to worry about it. And why I am suggesting to use the Docker image, as I told in the starting of the video, recently the GitHub repos has increased in size. So what happens is with the new repo, once you try to build it on the free plan, this is what happens: it exits, and the reason for exit is given in the logs of Render. The exit tells us that it has exited due to no worker memory. So the worker memory is the RAM that you get, so it ran out of memory, and it also takes a lot of time. Around it takes 5 to 6 minutes to deploy the instance, even if so if I am using it multiple times, 2 or 3 times a day in the free version of Render hosting. So what happens is my instance gets turned down. So what happens, you'll have to deploy it again and again, so that's a headache. While it is not the case with the Docker, because it is super fast, it hosts really fast, so it will get deployed back up really fast. Like you can see, it is being deployed really fast. You were just talking right now and it will be deployed in a minute or two, so you don't have to worry. And all now, once we are getting and now we are back into it. So what we have to do is set up another account. Let's set the email as, so I will delete, no, not this one. Nelson password. What should be the password? Let's set it to YouTube @n8n. Now I've done this. Now once you have filled all your owner account details, you will be greeted with the customized n8n to your screen. Now what you have to do is fill in with whatever information you want to. Now I'm getting started. Now this will prompt you to get a paid feature for free forever. This has been there for a couple of months, so you don't have to worry about it much. But fill in your email so that you can unlock all these features, which is workflow history, advanced debugging, execution and tagging, and folders, etc. Right now I already have this on my main instance, so I'm skipping this. You can fill this up. Now you are back to the dashboard, and now you can start from scratch and you build your automations, and you don't have to worry about an instance being lost because it has been stored in Supabase. And just in case if you're still worrying about it, you can just save your workflows on your PC as well. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next video.